All right, so next for you guys, we're gonna have a little bit of a rapid fire here for the rest of the main card. So starting with Diego Sanchez versus Michael Chiesa. This was a decision victory for Michael Chiesa. He looked way bigger than Diego Sanchez. He only cut about 7 pounds to make this weight. He infamously just quit Winklejohn 3 weeks prior to this fight, and that's the rundown of what precipitated this event. So what did you take away from this?
I think I didn't expect what's face Chiesa to look so big. He's gained so much muscle, it seems like, and he just looked amazing from a jiu-jitsu standpoint against Diego Sanchez, who's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Right.
He's been around the block for a long time.
Right.
He didn't submit him. Or did he submit him? No, it was a decision, right? Yeah, he didn't submit him or anything. Like he kind of like Diego stuck in there, but I think it was just one of the most dominant grappling exchanges that I've ever seen.
Mikal?
I agree. It was out of this world. There was at times he was just crawling on this guy like he was a spider, and it wasn't even close.
He was playing with him.
It was like a black belt, rolling with a white or a blue belt or something. Like
Right.
it just seemed like
It was just doing whatever you wanted.
He got him in the positions that he wanted him to be in, but he wasn't effective. His ground and pound wasn't doing damage, and
Diego's good at defending too. I mean, you got to
I
give
will
him that.
say this: Diego Sanchez has fought how many fights?
Yeah.
He's never been submitted in his life.
Yeah.
So
the submission he made his attempts. He didn't.
the ground and pound in terms of that, Michael
He just
Chiesa
didn't take advantage.
didn't put him into positions to punch him in the face to
Yeah.
inflict damage. And I understand
He
where
wasn't inflicting damage.
he was just dominating.
Yeah.
That's it. And he wanted the submission on a guy who's never been submitted. And he made his decision on what he wanted to do. I just saw Michael Chiesa do whatever he wanted. That was his welterweight debut. He just went up in weight, and he just definitely left a great impression for the rest of the division. He didn't look out of place on the feet. I thought that looked great too.
Yeah.
And I think that it wasn't great, but it looked like it was competent. He's not getting Ben Askren out here, which we're going to talk about in a second. But you know what? All the best for Michael Chiesa in his natural weight division. I don't know how this guy ever got down to 155. Never do that again. Next up, we have Jan Blachowicz versus Luke Rockhold. Now, Jan Blachowicz knocked out Luke Rockhold, TKO, KO, whatever you want to call it, with a nasty left hook in the second round. Luke Rockhold always has been susceptible to the left hook.
Right.
Michael Bisping clocked him with
yeah.
that. That was always something that I've noticed. So, I mean,
He keeps his hands
his
so
lead,
fucking low, man.
his lead hand is always very low, and I don't understand what that's all about.
His style looks like he's like they're like just chilling in the ring, like I'm just like matter of fact,
Very lackadaisical.
Yeah.
It's very pedestrian.
Yes.
He's going for a stroll in the Lily's Garden. It's like,
don't
this
get
isn't
it.
sparring,
I don't
brother.
get it.
This guy's coming to take your head off,
course.
and your lead hand is really low. I don't know what to say about a guy making his light heavyweight debut with a guy who has broken his jaw prior, which he also broke this fight, with prior injuries and stuff. These guys are bigger. You walked in before this fight, you're like, Jan Blachowicz isn't even a name. It's just a guy that I got to sign on the dotted line. I wanted to fight a better guy. It's like, yo, listen, this guy just destroyed you.
By the way, another thing. How jacked did fucking Luke, bro? Luke. You know what I'm saying?
How did Luke look? Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
he
you.
was so jacked though.
He was looking like
Wow.
a Ralph Lauren model. Oh,
yeah.
wait.
Like he put on like, I don't know, 20 pounds of muscle or some shit since his last fight. Like he looks jacked.
This guy's just coming out there just being like, yo, I'm a Ralph Lauren model now.
Yeah.
That's it.
And like we spoke about this before in the previous podcast, maybe he's got too much on his plate outside of the octagon and he needs to focus on that.
Yes,
and
we have
just
touched on that. That's true.
make his money there. I mean, how many more knockouts can he take? Is it healthy? Why would he do it when he's getting paid the same or even probably more
said
doing
word
the
for
modeling
word,
and all that stuff?
He said word for word, it's like, I don't need to fight. Okay, well, if you don't need
Don't
to,
do
you should
it.
probably
If you're getting
stop.
knocked out every time, dude.
Because
Like,
it's not worth it. Mikal, what was your takeaway, given all of this being his debut and just all the trash talk beforehand and just getting knocked out clean the same way you've been knocked out before?
I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but
Right.
you look at now, it's a pattern. It's something you've seen. I think he's a really good fighter, to be honest.
he's got the
He's,
skills.
and he's fun to watch.
I think when he won that title in a weight class below in middleweight, during that little stretch where he won and he looked like he was one of the best in the world to ever do it.
He looked
When he
great.
won that
He looked
title,
great.
he looked like one of the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
And then he the humble
The
just
fight,
Right.
I think Jan looked impressive. Like he was
Yes,
calm,
he
super
did.
calm, and
Very
was
relaxed.
dominated.
And Jan, oh, by the way, we got to bring this up really quickly. Remember, the head kick that landed, was it late? Was it not? At the end of the first round, that kind of dazed Luke Rockhold, that kind of like might have set up that knockout in the first place, right? Possibly. How much can you recover? Something interesting to think about. I don't think it was too late, but I think it was fine. I think I slowed it down and I think
Herb ended up saying, I think it was Herb, right?
Yep.
Ended up saying that the kick started before the bell with the bell, and then it finished after the bell, so it was whatever.
I get it.
I think I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
It's like a basketball shot.
Yeah, but he did rock him though.
Yeah, it was nice. Whew, it was a beautiful shot. Yeah.
Next up for you guys, we have Jorge Masvidal against Ben Askren. We have the shortest fight.
Masvidal.
We have the shortest fight in UFC history because it was the quickest knockout in UFC history.
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Or more like 2 seconds.
It just added to the story.
2 seconds for sure. Because the referee had to go in and actually stop it. The knee connected at 2.5 seconds, just over 2 seconds into the fight.
This ref's like too slow, bro.
It is what it is. I mean, honestly, think about it. You start on one end of the cage, and they start on the other end of the cage, and the referee's at the other quadrant of the cage. One guy sprints in and just knees a dude. I have to run over to the thing, get you off. He only had time to hit had 2 punches. We've seen worse where dudes are getting punched 3-4 times before the ref gets over there.
He got him good though.
He got him good.
That was like the Francis Ngannou drop.
Oh my God, seriously.
Clinical.
Dude, I felt both. At the same time, I was just like, I felt obviously bad because like he looked like he might not be okay after that knockout. I mean, Ben Askren. But at the same time, I couldn't help myself but chuckle a little bit because of all the smack talk Aspen had. And just, I'm a big Masvidal fan, and you know, Masvidal pretty much set him up. Like he was training for that. There was footage of him doing that the night before. There was something where he's like literally someone holding a pad across the ring, and Masvidal was like running at him and doing the exact same knee.
Mike Brown and him were training that knee for a while, man. And he came out and he's like, he knew he wanted to throw it either at the beginning or the end of the fight.
He said he had a few scenarios.
He's like, I know how it would have played out. He's like, either I knock him out or I catch him, glance him, and or he takes me down. Yeah. Either way, like I'm ready for all scenarios. And he just committed to a flying knee first thing immediately. And Ben Askren, I mean, first of all, Jorge Masvidal's explosiveness, he took 3 steps and got to full speed. Oh, yeah. It was scary, his athleticism.
Knee out and pointing at him.
Bicycle knee, perfectly executed, right to it hit the side of the head, and then just went down to the collarbone. Like, oh,
and
God.
I think I saw someone else make this point online too. But I think what really the whole strategy behind it was, first of all, it was right at the beginning of the fight, and second of all, he caught him off guard, right? So by running at him, Ben Askren,
it triggers
must have been for a second, must have been like, oh shit, he's coming. So what does a wrestler do? Like they say, what does a wrestler do?
You
when
are
he's like
hardwired to go down and change levels.
Exactly. And Masvidal was like, okay, buddy, I know.
So your fight or flight response is duck down.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to trigger it and see what happens. Yeah. And that's it. If you look at the passivity, even when he's in the cage, he's relaxed. His hands are behind his back. And he's leaning. He's going, oh, okay.
Yo, Ben, if you've seen the Leon Edwards footage where he pieced him up like behind the scenes, remember that? When he was Masvidal pieced up Leon Edwards behind the scenes? I mean, he had his arms behind his back too when he approached him. So, Ben, if you learned anything from that, you should have known that if Masvidal has his hands behind his back, he's about to fucking pop off, man.
He's about to go off,
exactly.
Man. And it's funny because I listened to Ben Askren, who, you know what, props to him. He went straight on to Ariel Helwani's Monday show.
Yep.
He just appeared and right after the fight, and he talked about it, and he said, I used to wonder, you know, how are these idiots getting clipped with flying knees? Don't you see it coming? And I didn't see it coming. So it's something that not only did Jorge Masvidal activate the fight or flight response, but it's also something Ben Askren, reflectively looking back, was like, I never even thought I'd be even close to getting caught with one of those. Because how do you get caught with that? Well, you got caught with it when you least expected it, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember that Yoel Romero knee against Weidman.
Oh my God.
So that reminded me of that. Both are Cuban. Both coming from Cuba, man.
Yeah, man. They love those
Cuban
knees.
missiles. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Like, I think I've always really thought about this. Like, if someone's shooting on you and you're allowed, it's not just a grappling exchange. It's MMA or actually, you know, whatever. You can definitely throw a knee when people shoot on you.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to get the knee, not for certain, he might get your legs, but you can always try. Like, I don't know why more people weren't trying that. And I'm pretty sure more people are going to be doing that in the future now.
Well, I mean, especially against a guy who comes in as a specialist just wrestling. Like, this guy's not going to come and step back and do a pullback punch into your face.
Yeah.
Like, if Askren wanted to really catch Jorge off guard, that's like, okay, I'm going to step out of the way and clock you in the face and take you down immediately. And I'm going to really cheese you there. Like, you got to be calm. And I think what happened is he was just expecting Jorge to come out Muay Thai stance and walk out. The hands back to the cage, the look to the left, and it just explodes like some. It's like I was watching Naruto or something, where the one ninja just knew that the other guy was just not on his level, and he's just waiting. He's like, "Are we really doing this?" Okay, and then it's like, "Oh my god!" It's like that's
it was awesome, man. I love
more, dude. I ordered his 3-piece and a soda shirt.
That's awesome.
I ordered it like literally 3 months ago, bro.
Yeah.
And I emailed them and I was like, "Yeah, I need this shirt."
Oh, still don't
so
got
where's
it?
my shirt?
Oh shit.
I love you guys, and you still have my support. I'm still waiting for my shirt. I want my shirt.
Still love you,
I need
Masvidal.
my 3-piece and a soda shirt. It's the funniest thing in the world. I need it. I love Jorge, and I can't wait to see him fight for this title, whether it's the next fight or whatever.
Yeah.
And I love his approach to it. By the way, if I can say one more thing about him, I love his approach to it. In the aftermath, he's like, first of all, he's eating French toast with like a bunch of like strawberries and stuff on Ariel Helwani's pot. It's on ESPN. Like, this thing is crazy. This guy's eating. Anyway, and
character.
He's like, whether I fight for the title next or not doesn't matter to me. But I think the people know who the people want.
Yeah, I think it's a sensitive situation with him and Colby as well, right? Because Colby, they
only want to fight each other if it's for the belt. That's
really
what Mike Brown
friends,
said. That's what Colby said. If it's over the strap, they'll do it. Neither of them had said, "I don't want to fight him." Colby was on Ariel Helwani last week as well and said, "I'll fight him if it's for the title."
Sure.
We have to,
but it's not something they're like seeking.
No, hell no.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell no. That's their brothers.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. Lastly, we have for you guys Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm. Now, Amanda Nunes knocked out Holly Holm in the first round in that 4-minute and 10-second mark with a high kick. Now, if I may take point on this one, I don't understand why you would want to lift your lead leg in a fight ever, because it's the least offensive and the least defensive stance you could be. You are on one leg, which means you're not balanced, you're not ready to explode with power. The triangle between your hips, your 2 feet, and being an anchor, you're now on one leg. Now, if you lift your rear leg, you can still explode and jump off that lead leg and jump back with enough distance to get yourself away from somebody. So if I'm standing orthodox and I lift my right leg, I can still push off my left leg and get enough distance to try to get out of the way. Right. Now, if I'm standing orthodox and lift my left leg up, now I can't hop back from my back leg far enough.
What was she doing? She was trying to do the like little push kick.
I think she was preparing for a push kick.
But it was
so slow,
and she gave up on it halfway through.
Yes, she did.
She lifted her leg and had wasted movement.
If she had actually done it, she would have probably prevented the kick.
The kick wouldn't have come and hit you clean. Yeah. See, what happens is, if in a fight, once you've made a dramatic movement, you've got to commit, even if it's going to be weak. And if you lift up your leg just haphazardly and you're like, "Oh, you know what, I'm not going to hit," because we've seen guys come in their Muay Thai style, lift their leg up for no reason and whatever. Yeah. But Amanda Nunes is not just random people.
No. Look at the footage, the highlights or whatever, the replay, when like in that last exchange. Look at Amanda Nunes' eyes. She is looking at Holly Holm the whole time, waiting for her. Like, just she knew exactly what she wanted to do for like 5 seconds maybe, and she's just like, okay, just like throw a kick and like on the comeback when you're pulling back, that's when I'm gonna throw it. And she was just looking at her face, just waiting to time the kick, and she timed it perfectly. Like,
it's really bad. Like, I mean, Mikhail, what were your thoughts when you saw like you can look at anything, the whole fight even.
The technicality of it, like once she realized the pattern, she knew her speed, she knew what she was doing, and you could see the excitement in her, just waiting to do exactly what she wanted to do. And it was
I would say, because like many people, I guess, would have made the argument that Holly Holm is so technical, right?
Right, it's surprising to see that happen from a technical fighter.
But I think the combination of, first of all, many people might still have underestimated Amanda for her technicality because of her power and the way she's knocking people out. But I mean, at this point of her career, I think Amanda Nunes doesn't give anything away to Holly Holm when it comes to the technique department. Actually, I think she might be a better strategist than Holly Holm in terms of how she approaches a fight.
I agree.
And she's got that crazy power and aggression. Holly Holm, just point fighting.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Amanda Nunes can point fight if she needed to. Like she can stalk if she needs to. She can counterpunch if she needs to.
It's not aggression.
Cyborg's
it's
exploded. A Cyborg's exploded on her where she's backing up, still wins. She's advancing on somebody, and she still wins. She pressures the smaller ones and makes them scared.
She's got a little bit of that.
Holm, she's like, okay, let's dance a little bit.
She actually a little bit of the GSP, mentality, where she knows how to approach each opponent.
You're so well rounded and such a master of all those skills that you just take the opponent's strength and turn it into a weakness.
Amanda's and that's so gangster, man.
That's it.
So gangster.
It's and she's literally the female GOAT. And there's no other way around even any debate there. It's crazy.
She's one of the best fighters ever. Bottom line, men or women.
Period.